It's Valentine's Day, everyone, a day where you show the people you love how much you care about them. But I'm just one of those relatable teens who's going to be spending Valentine's Day at home with a box of chocolates. So to celebrate Valentine's Day and love and friendships of all kind, we're going to talk about famous duos in video games. Just to clarify, this isn't a ranking or anything. The pairs that I mention aren't in any specific order. Also, even though this is for Valentine's Day, most of the relationships in this list are platonic ones, so don't think that I ship all of these people or anything. I just think that you can appreciate a good friendship as much as a romantic relationship. People think of Street Fighter, they think of Ryu and Ken. But that's not to say that Chun-Li and Cammy aren't an iconic duo themselves. They're a super strong pair of fighters who work together to hunt down M. Bison. And not to go full social justice warrior on you guys or anything, but it's also pretty cool that Chun-Li and Cammy were some of the first female characters in the Street Fighter series. They're both some of my favorite characters to play as in Street Fighter games, with their fast-paced attacks and powerful kicks. Speaking of strong fighters, our next pair is Goten and Trunks, or as they are otherwise known, Gotenks. Trunks and Goten may not seem like much on their own, but when they fuse together, they can get pretty powerful. Gotenks is super fun to play as in Dragon Ball FighterZ. His attacks don't do the most damage, but they are so fast-paced that it's hard for the enemy to keep up. Gotenks is also a funny character just in general. He's not afraid to stand up to some of the toughest Dragon Ball characters. Or maybe he's just too stupid to realize he's not as strong as he thinks. Either way, being the youngest in the family myself, I have a soft spot for Gotenks, and I think he's a pretty cool pair-up. Our next pair is Callie and Mari, aka the Squid Sisters. I'm sure it's not a surprise that I love Splatoon, and the Squid Sisters are a big part of what makes Splatoon so great, from hosting fun Splatfests to using their sick beats to help defeat DJ Octavio. Callie and Mari go beyond just being there to tell you what the stages are, even though it says it in the lobby, and it would be much easier just to skip the news, but whatever. They may have opposite personalities, but their dynamic is really cute, and you can see their friendship best in their music. Another iconic Nintendo duo is Kirby and Prince Fluff from Kirby's Epic Yarn. Now, I realize as I just wrote that, I think I'm one of the few people who actually remembers Prince Fluff, but be quiet, because I'm gonna tell you why you should remember this guy. I don't really know why, but Prince Fluff is just really funny to me. He's definitely one of those characters you would only get from Japan. I mean, his name is Prince Fluff, and look at those eyebrows! What really makes this pair special to me is what they represent in a sense. Kirby's Epic Yarn has a multiplayer function where player 1 plays as Kirby, and player 2 can join in as Prince Fluff. Kirby and Fluff make me think of the days when I was 10 years old and I used to play Kirby's Epic Yarn all the time. It was one of the first games I tried to beat on my own, but sometimes I had to call in for reinforcements, and my sister or dad would help me beat a hard level. And I know I'm kind of young to get nostalgia per se, but I think the reason I like Kirby and Prince Fluff is because they remind me of playing this game with my family when I was younger. Also, they're both just cute characters in general. Look, I'm not a furry, I swear, I don't. Sly and Carmelita are the famous duo from the Sly Cooper series. They each play the classic role of cop and robber, but they end up falling for each other even when they're not supposed to. Sly and Carmelita's relationship was just a cute little aspect of the game at first, but it really developed throughout the series. Sly 4, Thieves in Time took a closer look into their dynamic, and we even got some cutscenes from Carmelita's point of view. It was a nice moment whenever Carmelita said goodbye to Sly before he left to fight La Paradox, and it was also sweet to see how Carmelita continued to search for Sly, even after it seemed he was gone for good. But now I'm kind of sad because Sly is stranded in Egypt, and there's still little information about a 5th Sly game being released. So no happy ending for Sly and Carmelita, I guess. This is a topic for another video, but either way, Sly and Carmelita are a strong pair with an interesting dynamic. Did somebody say Dragon Quest? Elena and Kirill, originally from Dragon Quest IV, are a powerful team that appear in Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. Both Elena and Kirill have some pretty nice abilities in the Heroes games. Elena has lots of strong, rapid-fire attacks that can clear out a large group of enemies in a quick amount of time. Basically, if you want to beat a level, just use Divide and Conquer and then spam multi-fist as much as you can. Kirill has his own perks too, like having a chance of reviving with half of his health upon death, and being able to sometimes revive allies without using an Yggdrasil. And I know people get mad about this move because it's just so OP, but Thwack is literally the best thing that exists in this game. Don't at me. Not only are they good fighters, but Elena and Kirill have a fun dynamic too. It's always entertaining to me to see how Kirill is obviously crushing on Elena, but she's still too oblivious to ever notice. Either way, Elena and Kirill are some of my favorite Dragon Quest characters, and it's always funny to see what kind of situations they get into. Super Mario Galaxy was the first video game that I ever beat completely on my own, and so I have some pretty fond memories with it. Rosalina and Luma are a magical pair who I loved in Mario Galaxy and in the Smash Bros. Series. While Rosalina could have been just another princess character like Peach or Daisy, Nintendo actually gave her an interesting backstory with Rosalina's storybook, and I don't really have a good reason to like the Lumas. I just think they're cute. Having Rosalina fight together with her Luma in Smash was a really good idea. It added a lot more variety to a character that could have been a pretty basic fighter. Overall, I love Super Mario Galaxy, and Rosalina and Luma are one of the reasons that game is so good. I thought that talking about Mario and Princess Peach would be the best way to finish off the video. A classic video game couple that almost anyone can recognize. Mario and Peach's characters may be simple, but I also think their relationship is very sweet, even if it's kind of ridiculous how many times Peach gets captured. Mario and Peach always look out for each other, no matter what they're facing. And I think that's what makes them such a popular pair. And with that, it's time to wrap up the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more gaming content. I hope you all have a happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!